If you want to be more efficient and effective while experiencing more inner peace, then working on the core of your issues instead of putting on a Band-Aid is vital. Welcome to Life Fix University podcast. I'm your host, Esty Rapport, and here to help you improve your 28 cognitive functions, the 28 things that make up thinking. In each episode, we'll discuss a real-life challenge, why you might be struggling with it, and give you practical strategies so all areas of your life will improve.
Have you ever tried telling someone to do something and they didn't listen? Yeah, we've all experienced that. But have you ever tried asking someone questions to help them figure it out by themselves? If not, you will want to. That's what's coming up next on the Life Fix University podcast, episode 354. But first, screenshot this episode, share it on IG stories, and tag me at Life Fix University. That's Life, LIFEPIX University. So that way I can thank you personally and more people will learn about this episode and how they can rewire their brains. Now, for today's real life challenge, I want you to imagine you are speaking with your partner and you are trying to convince them about something, maybe about why they should exercise. You've had this conversation 100 times before, and you're just going in circles. You've got to try something else. Telling your partner what to do is not working because no one likes to be bossed around. And no one likes to do something they don't want to do. However, if you ask them questions, not where you're telling them what to do, but you're asking them questions to help them figure it out by themselves, then it's coming from their own brain, from their own motivation, and they actually want to do this. We call this mediation. When we are mediating a partner, a client, a child, a friend, or even an investor, we are turning their brain from passive learners, from just teaching them, to active learners, to being involved in this conversation in a way where it affects them personally. Now, instead of things just going in one ear and out the other, the brain has to think about it, process it, understand it, and then hopefully will want to do it, or will come up with something that is better for them. Okay. At Life Fix University, we don't teach you. Okay. We're not here to be like this so-called professor to teach you things because we know best. Rather, we are here to mediate you so you can grow new dendrites and change the way your brain works and come up with solutions that work best for your life. You know your life best, and you could come up with solutions for your life best. Sometimes you just need a little help finding those answers. So with mediation, you get that right away. So next time you want to convince someone of something, or just want them to understand something a little better, not even to do something, but just to understand your point of view, you're going to want to try mediating them. Here are 4 things to remember when you mediate. Okay. Number 1, mediating is not about telling them. Mediating them is about asking questions to help them come to the conclusions themselves. Number 2, the better questions you ask, the better answers you get. So you want to come up with higher quality questions which come with practice. You also want to make sure that you are starting your questions with something that they are already familiar with, or they already know, or you already spoke about, or you're connecting with them on a way. So from like almost like a place of knowing to a place of like the unknown to the place of where they want to go. So your questions are starting from point A and they're bringing them to point B. This takes practice. So the more you mediate, the better you'll get at this. Number 3, you have to make sure you are actually listening to what the person is saying and answer with follow-up questions accordingly. Don't come into the conversation with a whole list of questions and just boom, 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 head in all through them. You could mentally prepare yourself for what you want to say, but make sure you are listening to what they're saying and answering questions that continue through the process. And number 4, super important, it's a lot easier to just tell someone something, but you get a lot lower results. You want to remember and understand that it takes time and patience, a lot more time, because instead of just telling them, you have to ask them questions and have them have an answer and then follow up and go through that whole process. So it's going to take time, but in the long run, it's going to be so much more worth it. And your ROI will be much higher. Your challenge this week is to mediate someone instead of just telling them. So whether it's your business partner or your spouse or your child, you want to, instead of just telling them something that you want them to do, ask them questions. And remember to follow the 4 important rules of mediating. Asking them questions, asking better questions, high quality questions, taking them from point A to point B. Listen to what you're saying. And remember, it is going to take time. You will get there. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.
That's all for this episode of the Life Fix University podcast. If you enjoyed it, please share it with 2 of your family and friends so they too can gain from it, and you'll be helping us reach our goal of 1 million downloads by the end of 2025. Have an awesome rest of your day and grow those dendrites.